Hey guys, so Claude 3.7 Sonnet just came out today, and it might just be the best coding model we have. So in today's video, we're going to run through a few quick coding tests to see how well it actually performs. And before we get started, a quick look at the announcement from Anthropic themselves. It claims to be the most intelligent model to date, and it's the first hybrid reasoning model on the market. This is important because one of the drawback of existing reasoning models is how slow they are. They take a long time to think. And a lot of times the additional latency is not worth the quality increase. So Sonnet 3.7 has two different modes. It has a quick thinking mode and a deep thinking mode. It says that just like a human, 3.7 Sonnet uses a single brain for both quick responses and deep reflection. And we can actually control how long exactly Sonnet thinks before it returns a response. So this level of control is really helpful. Anthropic also says that 3.7 Sonnet shows particularly strong improvement in coding and front-end development, and we're going to test both today. And looking at the benchmarks, specifically the SWU benchmark for coding, Sonnet 3.7 blows everything out of the water. Just look at these numbers, 70.3% compared to OpenAI's 49.3% with O3 Mini High or DeepSeek R1, also around 49.2%. So this is truly amazing. But without further ado, let's see how well it actually performs in a real code base. All right, the first test we're going to do is front-end development. So we're going to try to one-shot a SaaS startup landing page with features, testimonials, pricing, FAQ, and contact sections. We want to make a dark theme, look very modern, and include animations. And after that, we're going to test 3.7 Sonnet in an existing project on a fairly complex task. So I copied and pasted the exact prompt we saw earlier into Cursor, and I have it generated using four different models: 4.0, O3 Mini, Sonnet 3.5, and Sonnet 3.7. And we're going to see what they look like. So first up is O4. Let's take a look. Okay, so frankly, this looked quite terrible. There's very little animation and just doesn't look good as a landing page. The FAQ section works, but not very obvious between what the questions and answers are. Let's take a quick look at O3 Mini. So much better already. At least we have a hero section that looks proper. We'll have the features, testimonials, the layout's quite similar, but that's okay. And we'll have the pricing section. That's honestly decent. It's pretty good. All right, it's got the actual form, which was missing in the 4.0 version. Okay, let's take a look at 3.5 Sonnet. Okay, got some design here. Let's go to the feature section. All right, it's got features, got testimonials. Don't really love it, but better than 4.0, but I don't think it was as good as O3 Mini. The FAQ sort of works, and the form. Okay, lastly, let's check out 3.7 Sonnet. This is already feeling much more modern. It even has an image for dashboard, but obviously it's a placeholder image, so it doesn't even exist. Let's scroll down a little bit. It's got a gradient in the background. Looks a lot more modern. It even got the headshots of the placeholder testimonials. I like the animation. It just fades in. Let's see that again. Yeah, it fades in. All right, cool. It's got a pricing section. It zooms in a little bit when I hover. And, ooh, okay, cool. So as we can see, it's looking much better using 3.7 Sonnet. It's got a form in the end as well, and a proper footer section. This is actually something I would use. I mean, it is generic, but it looks good. Let's compare it to the O3 version again. So this is the O3 Mini. Yeah, I would say the Sonnet 3.7 version is way better. Okay, so that's the one-shot prompt, mostly on the UI aspect. Now let's transition and take a look at how we do in an existing project. The project we're working on is similar to Jira. It's got a Kanban board, it's got different columns, and you can put issues and create tasks inside the columns. Let's just create one real quick. And the particular task we want AI to execute is the ability to bulk delete, or in this case, select multiple issues and delete all of them at once. Because right now you have to click into each one, click delete, confirm, in order to delete an issue. We want to be able to select each issue or multiple issues, select the bulk delete, and delete all of them at once. We've previously run this test using Cursor Agent and 3.5 Sonnet, and the results weren't very good. Although it eventually got things to work, it resulted in multiple issues that require a lot of manual copying and pasting, multiple turns to fix those issues. And worst of all, it updated a lot of files that really weren't necessary. So in the end, the code quality wasn't great. We're going to run the same test using 3.7 Sonnet and see how it performs. All right, we're back in Cursor, and we have the Jira clone project open. The prompt is quite simple. We want to add the ability to delete multiple issues from the project board. Users should be able to tick a checkbox to select an issue and click the delete all button that deletes all of the checked issues. So pretty straightforward. I already ran through the prompt, so let's go through what the agent actually did in this case. First, it broke it down into steps. It wants to examine the project structure, it wants to add state to track the issues, add the checkboxes, and then finally delete them, which is great. And it's quite smart in that it first read my directories, listed out all of my relevant directories to see what it needs to read, and it notices that in my board JSX, I have list. Notice that list had and list had issues. So it drilled down and read each of the files. It also took a look to search my backend and see if there are any existing APIs that are able to delete issues. This is very much how an engineer would actually do this. You would first obviously navigate the code base to get an understanding of what the current landscape is before you execute. Only then it recognizes that it has a good understanding of the project structure, and now it starts implementation, starting with the board JSX. It's reusing my shared utils, which includes communicating with the backend through the API layer, and also my toast functionality. And it correctly added a state to track selected issues, created a handler to deal with the issue selection, and added a handler to actually do the deletion or the bulk deletion of selected issues. And it continues to make changes to other relevant files. Eventually, it did run into one error related to drag and drop, but all I had to do was copy and paste the error in the console logs back to agent, and it was able to automatically fix the issue. Let's go back to the browser and see what it actually looks like. So I have the browser reloaded. We'll create a few more mock tickets just so we can test the deletion capability. All right, so I've manually created a few more tickets just so we can test this. And we can see that the checkbox do show up and we can select them. Let's try deleting. Perfect, that worked. Let's refresh and see if it persists. Yep, it persists. So it correctly called my backend API and actually deleted it from the database as well. But one thing I noticed is that it's missing the confirmation mode that shows up when I delete single issues. And I think for bulk deletion, this is even more important. So let's go back to Cursor and ask it to implement the confirmation. I'm just telling the agent that it's missing the deletion confirmation. Okay, so it's done. Let's take a look. Refresh the page. All right, are you sure want to delete? Yes. This is working great. Okay, a quick recap. We ran through the same test using 3.5 Sonnet in a previous video, and although the agent was able to get it to work, it ran into a lot more issues with the blank pages, checkbox state, and memory leaks. And the worst part of the implementation was that it updated 10 different files, and half of those weren't really necessary. So we gave it a score of 2 out of 5, which means I personally wouldn't use it in an existing project because the code quality wasn't that great. Now, fast forward to today with 3.7 Sonnet, it got it to work using only one turn. It had one error with drag and drop, and a simple copy and paste of the error back to the agent was able to fix it perfectly. And it only touched 5 files. And when I reviewed the code changes in those 5 files, the code was very clean. It did miss the confirmation modal, but that was quickly fixed using just a prompt. And to be fair, I didn't include that requirement in my initial prompt, so it's not really on the agent to miss that detail. And as we saw, once I prompted the AI to add that feature, I was able to do it without any problems. So in this case, I would give 3.7 Sonnet in agent mode a 4.5 out of 5. And I'm quite excited to test this more in real projects and see how well the new model is going to do. I want to tell you about a really exciting project I'm working on. I'm building a specialized IDE that makes building custom web apps 10 times faster. And it's able to do so because it has custom integration with Next.js and Supabase. One of the features I'm really excited about is 360 context management. Imagine a product manager that's embedded into the IDE and it helps you manage the entire product cycle. It can break down project into specific features, and it can break down features into specific tasks. It will also manage the entire execution flow of that task from planning to coding to testing. Another feature that I really like personally is visual debugging. A lot of times when AI ran into issues, it's helpful that we understand what went wrong. So one, we can prevent it from happening in the future, but two, it also helps the AI debug it and fix it faster. So this visual debugging is able to trace the code flow and help both the developer as well as the AI to understand what actually went wrong. We're going to start private beta very soon. So if you're interested in testing this out and building custom web apps 10 times faster, please visit easycode.ai/flow. I'll put the link down below and sign up to be on the waitlist. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.